So I had a lot of questions on this build. A lot of you guys watched my best farming mission in the Division 2 that I released yesterday, and were asking me, hey Skills, can we see that build that you guys used? And while this build doesn't hit as hard as the 13 million DPS build, you don't have to be scoped in the whole time. So that's the big difference between this build and that build. This build still allows you to move around. It allows you to see what's going around you. You don't have to be scoped in. And a lot of times when you are scoped in, sometimes you can catch yourself in some sticky situations. But I love this build because we don't have to be scoped in, and it still absolute shreds enemies on heroic content. So if you guys are looking for a build that can put out enough DPS to get you through these missions and through these control points fast enough, well, this is the build for you. So we'll be having the full breakdown of this build. As you guys are seeing, we're in Lincoln Memorial right now. We just took out 2 bosses, and then we have the final boss. As we're able to take out the purples, yellows, and golds pretty quick. And then this tank enemy, you're gonna see, all we have to do is hit his weak point. So in this video, I have the full build breakdown for you guys. So if you guys are ready for that, the least you guys can do is leave a thumbs up on the video to show support to this channel. Thank you guys again for all the support, but I think it's time, right? We're about to finish off this boss, so let's get into the build right now. So the first thing you guys want to do is have the technician class, and I'll explain in a second why you want to have this class. So for this build, you will need to have a specific class. Now for the weapon, we do have the police M4. This one has 105,000 base damage at 850 RPM with a 50 round mag. We have 15% assault rifle, 20% health damage, and then I rolled 10% damage to targets out of cover on there. We also have In Sync on here, and what that's gonna allow us to do is get 30% extra weapon damage and 30% extra skill damage as long as both are hitting simultaneously. So In Sync, my favorite talent. Police M4, my favorite AR. For my secondary, it really doesn't matter, but the Scorpio is a great exotic to hunt for, and it can do a lot of damage to those enemies. And not only that, it stops some of the most tankiest, hard-hitting NPCs right in their tracks. So if you guys can find this one, add it to the build, and you will thank me later. To start off the build, we have the Grupo Sombra mask that gives us that 15% crit hit damage. This is God rolled, 15% weapon damage, 12% crit hit damage, 6% crit hit chance, and then a 12% crit hit damage mod. Yes, I'm blessed. We got a God roll mask right here. But yeah, that is the mask you want. We jump into the chest piece. We have a Fenris chest piece, another God roll piece, 10% assault rifle damage, 15% weapon damage, 12% critical hit damage, 6% critical hit chance, and then 12% critical hit damage mod. I have Spotter. Yes, that's the talent you need, and this is the talent that we need the technician class for, because it amplifies total weapon damage and skill damage by 15% to pulse enemies. Now, how are we gonna get Spotter active? Well, we'll explain that in a second. If we get into the holster, we have the Cheska holster with 10% critical hit chance, another God roll piece, 15% weapon damage, 12% critical hit damage, and 6% critical hit chance. Okay, I can see you guys are a little jealous, but hey, this is hard work. Another God roll piece, the named Foxspur knee pads. These are the best in slot for DPS builds, guys. 8% damage to targets out of cover, the 12% critical hit damage on there, and then 15% weapon damage. You guys want to put this on your builds. Don't worry about that rifle damage. Best in slot for these DPS builds. And we got another God roll piece. Holy, is this whole build God rolled? So we have the Petrov named gloves, the contractor gloves, 15% weapon damage, 8% damage to targets out of cover. 8% damage to armor, and then 12% critical hit damage. Another multiplicative piece like the knee pads, and that's why it's the best in slot for DPS builds. And then finally, our backpack, the Memento backpack, probably my favorite build to run. My favorite piece to run on almost every single build I make. This isn't God rolled, but close. We have 14% weapon damage, we have armor, and we have skill tier. The only piece in the game that allows you to have 3 core attributes, that allows us to get that 900,000 armor, allows us to get some skill tier for our skills, and then the talent on here is absolutely amazing. If you guys look at the bottom, we'll skip the top part, the bottom part. For every trophy collected, you gain additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. Now that's a long time. So that's 30% total weapon damage we get on here, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regeneration. And then every time we hit a trophy, that's an additional instant 30% weapon damage on top of that. So that means with this piece, we can almost have 60% weapon damage at one time additional just for having this backpack. That's why it's one of those pieces, if you can get one, I highly recommend farming for it. Now, some of you guys are probably wondering, how can we proc spotter and why do we need a technician class? Well, the technician class is the only class that has this linked laser pointer. And what this does, if you read it, it says technician laser pointer that pulses targets at which it's aimed. So that means that spotter will be 100% active at that target once we pulse them. So we'll always gain that additional damage from spotter with having the linked laser pointer, and that's why for this build you need to have the technician class. So we are running crit chance all through the build and then the 20 round mag. If we dive over to the skills, we have the drone. If you take a look at it, it's tier 2, right? Cooldown 22 seconds, damage 28,000. Not bad. The duration 230 seconds, will last the whole time. Then we have the Crusader shield. This is a tier 3 shield. So this is gonna have 2.7 million armor, cooldown only 18 seconds, and that's the benefit of also running technician. You get that one skill tier guaranteed. For the stats, we have 48% critical hit chance, 156 critical hit damage, 75% headshot damage, 8% armor damage, and then 18% targets to damage auto cover. That's why this build hits, and I'm telling you, if you guys are looking for a build that can get through any content, this is probably going to be the build for you without having to be scoped in. So I put out a lot of builds. It's really up to you to decide what build you think can fit your play style. All these builds will work, 100% tested, and I'm sure you guys will figure it out yourself. So if you guys have any questions, that's what you guys can use the comment section for. If you guys enjoyed the build, as always, remember, leaving a like will definitely help me out, help the channel grow, and this channel has been growing like crazy lately. If you guys have been watching this channel grow, the second channel of my main channels, and it's actually performing really well, and I'm very surprised that it's performing as well as it is. I thought it was just gonna be, you know, a little channel to help out a lot of new players, but there seems to be a lot of new players in the division. So if you guys are enjoying the content, hey, leave a thumbs up if you guys have any questions, or you guys have any recommendations on any videos you guys would like to see that you're struggling with that I haven't covered already. I would love to make a video on it, but just let me know. But we're gonna wrap up the video here, guys. Just watch the damage. The damage is there. The survivability is there. Even when my armor breaks, I still have that split second to kind of get back in it because the armor regeneration is kicked in. And you're gonna see, we drop this area right here of Lincoln Memorial with the boss, with the tank. Hits me a couple times, gets me in a sticky situation, but with that armor regeneration, with able to have that little bit of survivability, it makes a big difference, and you guys see what we can do. But we're gonna wrap up here, guys. I do appreciate everything you guys have done for this channel, but we're gonna see you guys in the next Division 2 video. But until then, nothing but skills out.
All clear.